welcome to Sky Sweaty Record Review, episode 66. It's the only new music review show hosted by a French professor immediately after getting back from the gym. It's been a little while since I recorded an episode, the semester started, so I've got a twofer today. For some reason, the band I'm going to review, a band I'd never heard of, which I think is just one guy, the band is called Twain, and they released 2 albums last week. And I'm not really sure why. If you are Twain himself, or if you are a Twain head, a Clemens fanatic, let me know why did he release these 2 albums. I have a pet theory. One of them is acoustic, and the other has like a full band. So maybe he was trying to express different things. I'm going to spend most of my time today talking about the album I like more. So it's by Twain, and it's called New Miami Sound. Now, immediately, this is a funny title, okay? I clicked on this, and I don't know what Twain is. So I'm expecting some kind of, like, trap, southern rapper, some kind of, like, 2 Live Crew sounding bass heavy, strip it up, something like that, okay? And what I get instead is this, like, really idiosyncratic, frankly quite beautiful, lo-fi folk rock album. Now, the term folk rock I have a little bit of trouble with, and I'll get there soon. In general, what I would say about the thematics of this album is it seems to be somebody who's trying to figure out how to be in the right mindset. It feels like the whole thing is just someone trying to figure out how to be at ease, how to travel, how to be home, how to be at peace, how to be high, how to be straight, how to be in love, how to be in love with somebody who's inaccessible. It's like somebody searching for their happy mind place, which is interesting. It's a little bit mystical at times. The way the guy sings has an ethereal quality to it. At times, it's too clever, but not too much. It flirts with being too clever. Most of the titles are kind of funny. Like you see the title and you go, what does that mean? Take, for example, the first track, which gets a Sky stamp. I like this track a lot. It's called Death, parentheses, or SF. And this is like typical of this album. It's got like a rickety piano. The piano's in tune, but it sounds like it shouldn't be. It's like a piano recorded in a different room or something. Not a grand piano at all. A rickety piano. And very nice kind of muted drums. Like 70s style, just dum dum dum, not doom da doom doom da doom, but very dum dum dum. Nice kind of soft bass, mystical lyrics, very very catchy. The whole thing is about like how nice it is to be in San Francisco when it's nice out, and how that might be like what death is. I don't know. It's an interesting song. I don't really know what it's about, but it's just excellent. It's very catchy. It has like this kind of haunting melody hook, do-do-do, do-do-do. And it made me feel, and I'm going to be saying a lot of different artists' names, who this guy reminds me of, but I don't think he's actually derivative at any point. They're just influences I hear. It's about San Francisco, and the album is called New Miami Sound, and apparently this guy's from Virginia, but this actually feels like something out of LA, like in a good way. Like something like kind of like a Nilsson album or Van Dyke Parks, that kind of area. At times, it really sounds very Nilsson-y to me in a very good way. The next track is called Young Dodds, and this one is like a little bit more energy. This is where like I actually got a little bit psyched. Is he playing everything on this album? I don't know. If you're going to respond to me because you're a Twain fan, tell me, first of all, why did he release 2 albums the same day? And is he playing everything on this album? It sounds like it could be. This is the indication of some more developed musical attempts. I mean, the first track is nice and it's catchy, but this one has like kind of like an instrumental round at the end where things start and then something starts again, and it has a kind of level of complexity. Then we get to the song Eileen, which sort of sounds almost Leonard Cohen adjacent, like that same kind of feel where like it's a love song and it doesn't feel purely allegorical, but it feels greatly allegorical, which I like. I like that style. The next track is Big Dog Mind, which, okay, this feels to me like an indie band from the 90s covering an underrated Neil Young song. Okay? It feels kind of like a track off of Harvest Moon that, isn't one of the big hits, but is like a solid country style, folky style Neil Young track from the 90s. 90s is maybe my favorite decade of Neil Young music anyways. Well, second favorite. Third favorite. I really like Neil Young. But it's a great decade for Neil Young, and this has that feeling. It's the chords resolve a lot, kind of like Neil Young does. It's a heavy resolution, and the melody is in the vocals is echoed by the guitar. It's very nice. Now the next track, I'm going to stay in Canada for my comparison. It's called Holy Navigator. And what's interesting about this is that now he's got like weird rhythms. Like he changes up rhythms in the chorus. Like the piano line goes from, 5/4 to 7/8 to 4/4 to 3/4. I'm not really quite sure what. But I realized this is like a song by Rush. If the singer wasn't annoying, and if the song itself wasn't an annoying try-hard effort at rhythm. Like, I would love to hear a Rush version of this song, where these lyrics could be sung, in the high voice, and all these chord changes and these rhythm changes could be super emphasized. I don't know. That's kind of a fun thing. I would like to hear how that would sound. It wouldn't be better than this. This is another great song. It almost gets... Actually, you know what? It does. Holy Navigator also gets my stamp. One of the songs of the album. Really nice mixture of lo-fi music with interesting, complicated, complex rhythms. I love it. The next track is Anything Can Happen, which appears to be a song about wanting to sleep with somebody who's married. Not my favorite thematic. This is the most Nilsson that it gets. Just this beautiful voice. There's this beautiful voice that has like pain and clarity in it at the same time. Kind of wry lyrics. Excellent. Just another excellent song. Then it kind of ends with Little Dog Mind, which I guess is a companion piece to Big Dog Mind, and it's this whole theme of the album of self-reflection, and there you go. So there is New Miami Sound. I suggest it. I really suggest listening to it. If you'd like the idea of solid lo-fi folk rock with great songwriting and interesting, like, mystical aura. Jeez, mystical aura. That sounds awfully fruity. Actually, let me talk a little bit more about my problem with folk music. See, in general, I don't like folk music. I find it too wide-eyed, Like everything's too clear. Like the lyrics are too inspirational. It's got this kind of... Or if it's not too much about your own personal life, about how you feel about your cat eating cat food. I don't know, about love or about inspiration or about the divine, then it's sort of like protest folk music, in which case that's just kind of impotent revolt. So in general, I don't like folk music, which is perhaps why when I like folk music, I like it so much. I think there's a lot of power that can be had with an acoustic guitar, clear vocals. But I think it needs a layer of distance, maybe irony, maybe a little bit of sarcasm, or just some kind of edge to put on it, so it's not just wide-eyed singing with a guitar. Like that scene in Animal House where John Belushi takes the guitar and smashes it on the stairwell. That's sort of how I feel when I listen to most folk. But I didn't feel that listening to New Miami Sound, segue coming, nor did I feel that way in listening to his EP Alternator. So this is the way more folky version of whatever Twain is. It's basically a guitar and nothing else. And his beautiful voice. He does have a beautiful voice. He does an interesting thing where he sort of has his voice echo the themes of the songs often. So there's one song where he talks about turning into a bird and the voice goes high. There's another one where he talks about being free and the voice goes high. I'm going to take one track and solo it out, but there's a lot of interesting things happening here. It reminds me, actually, of the sort of late stage Rick Rubin produced Johnny Cash albums. There's a quality to his songwriting that reminds me of that. But his singing is very vulnerable. So It's sort of like Johnny Cash, late stage Johnny Cash, sung by a boy who changed his name to Sue. That's what I would say. And not change his name to Sue because he's transitioning, but just as an artistic flair. Just why not call yourself Sue? Like a kind of vulnerability there. There's a lot of really nice, I mean, the whole thing takes like 20 minutes. My advice to you, listen to the first track. It gets a stamp. And if you like it, listen to more. I keep shaking the table. I apologize. The song is called Nature Song. And it's just him, apparently, looking at different things in nature. You know, look at that golden fly sitting on the burger meat. Why not let him eat? And then he goes on about bees stinging him and ants carrying food and bears eating him. And it's whimsical, but nice. And kind of profound because he's just talking about how animals are animals and how you should just let them be. And actually, right now my dog is at the vet because dogs are dogs. And he ate some raisins. Damn it. So anyways, maybe don't let him eat. Don't let him eat raisins. But this kind of theme of humans being humans, it seems like a continuation of the New Miami sound of just trying to find what is your mindset and where are you comfortable. So there's my review of Twain. 2 albums, both of them are good. Alternator, the EP, New Miami Sound. If I had to come up with 3 words, I would say lo-fi, good folk. Pretty simple, but I think on the nose. Okay. Thank you for watching episode Order 66. And as always, there's the camera.